Imagine checking into a hotel, only to realize you're not alone. The Philippines is home to some of the most haunted hotels in the world, places where ghostly guests never check out. From weeping women in Baguio to headless priests in Manila, these hotels hide terrifying secrets behind their doors. Guests and staff swear they've seen chairs move on their own, heard children laugh in empty hallways, and even felt invisible hands touching them at night. Are these just stories, or is there something supernatural lurking in the shadows? Stay with me as we uncover the top 10 most haunted hotels in the Philippines, if you dare. Want more chilling ghost stories from across the Philippines? Subscribe now and help us hit 1K subs, because the scariest journeys are just beginning. 1. The Manila Hotel, Manila. The Manila Hotel is one of the most famous and luxurious hotels in the Philippines, but it also has a dark and haunted history. Built in 1912, this historic hotel has survived wars, bombings, and many deaths, leaving behind restless spirits. Guests and staff have reported ghostly encounters for decades, making it one of the most haunted places in Manila. One of the most common ghosts seen is that of a woman in a white dress, believed to be a former guest who died tragically. She is often spotted wandering the hallways, especially near the old rooms. Some say she was a heartbroken bride who took her own life, while others believe she was a victim of World War II. Guests who see her say she disappears suddenly, leaving behind a cold breeze. Another famous ghost is that of General Douglas MacArthur, who once lived in the hotel when he was the military advisor to the Philippines. His spirit has been seen in his old suite, room 314, where some guests claim to hear footsteps, whispers, and even the smell of cigar smoke. MacArthur was known for smoking cigars. Some staff members say they feel an unseen presence watching them when they clean the room. The hotel's basement is also haunted. During World War II, it was used as a torture chamber by Japanese soldiers. Many prisoners died there, and their anguished spirits are said to remain. Workers report hearing screams, cries, and chains rattling late at night. Some even see shadowy figures lurking in the corners. Even the hotel's grand staircase is not safe from paranormal activity. A headless priest has been seen walking up and down the stairs. According to legend, he was beheaded during the war, and his spirit still roams the hotel, searching for his lost head. Despite its haunted reputation, the Manila Hotel remains a popular destination. Many ghost hunters and curious visitors stay there, hoping to experience the supernatural. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the hotel's eerie atmosphere and tragic past make it one of the most haunted places in the Philippines. Would you dare to spend a night there? 2. The Diplomat Hotel, Baguio. The Diplomat Hotel in Baguio is one of the most infamous haunted places in the Philippines. Built in 1913 as a retreat for Dominican priests, it later became a hotel before being abandoned. Today, its crumbling ruins sit on a hill, hiding dark secrets and ghostly stories that send chills down the spine of anyone who visits. The most well-known ghost here is the headless priest. According to local stories, during World War II, Japanese soldiers invaded the building and beheaded several priests. Their restless spirits never left. Visitors and paranormal investigators often report seeing a headless figure in a priest's robe wandering the halls. Some hear deep, mournful groans, as if the spirits are still in pain. Another terrifying presence is the White Lady, who appears near the old swimming pool. Witnesses say she suddenly appears, staring blankly before vanishing into thin air. Some believe she was a guest who drowned or a woman who died tragically during the war. Others claim to hear splashing sounds from the empty pool at night, even though it has been dry for decades. The hotel's basement is the most haunted spot. It was once used as a torture chamber by Japanese soldiers, and many prisoners were killed there. People who enter say they feel sudden drops in temperature, hear whispers, and even feel unseen hands touching them. Some see dark shadows moving in the corners, as if the tortured souls are still trapped inside. Even during the day, the Diplomat Hotel feels eerie. Locals say the air feels heavy, and some visitors experience headaches or dizziness for no reason. Many who take photos inside capture strange orbs, misty figures, or even faces in the windows when no one is there. Despite its haunted reputation, the site attracts tourists, ghost hunters, and even movie crews. Some brave visitors spend the night, hoping to see a ghost. But many leave terrified after experiencing unexplained noises, cold spots, or even being touched by invisible hands. The Diplomat Hotel is more than just an abandoned building, it's a place where the past never rests. Would you dare to explore its haunted halls? 3. The Baguio Country Club, Baguio. Nestled among the pine trees of Baguio, the Baguio Country Club is one of the city's most luxurious and historic resorts. But behind its elegant halls and high-class reputation, guests and staff whisper about eerie encounters with the unseen. Built in the early 1900s, this grand hotel has seen decades of history, and not all of its past guests have truly left. One of the most famous ghosts here is the spirit of a little girl in a white dress, often seen playing near the hallways or the old swimming pool. Guests have reported hearing childish laughter late at night, only to find no one there. Some say she may have drowned in the pool decades ago, while others believe she was a guest who died tragically during World War II when the hotel was occupied by soldiers. Another common ghostly sighting is a mysterious woman in vintage clothing who appears in the corridors, especially on the upper floors. She walks silently before vanishing into the walls. Staff members say she might be a former guest from the American colonial era who loved the hotel so much that she never checked out, even in death. Some guests who wake up in the middle of the night claim to see her standing at the foot of their bed, watching them sleep. The most haunted area is said to be the old wing of the hotel, where strange noises like footsteps, knocks, and whispers are often heard. Some visitors report feeling a cold hand touching them when no one is around. Others say they hear faint piano music coming from the empty lobby late at night, as if a ghostly musician is still playing. Even the golf course has its own ghost story. Caddies and players have spotted a shadowy figure walking across the fairway at dusk, disappearing into the fog. Some believe it's the spirit of a golfer who died suddenly on the course, forever playing one last game. Despite these spooky tales, the Baguio Country Club remains a favorite getaway for tourists and locals. Some guests stay here hoping for a ghostly encounter, while others sleep with the lights on, just in case. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is certain, this historic hotel holds more than just memories. Would you dare to spend a night here and see for yourself? For the Bayleaf Intramuros, Manila. Standing in the heart of historic Intramuros, the Bayleaf Hotel blends modern comfort with Manila's dark colonial past. But beneath its stylish rooftop bar and chic rooms, guests and staff whisper about eerie encounters that suggest some visitors never checked out. The hotel's location, built on land that witnessed centuries of Spanish rule, war, and death, makes it a hotspot for paranormal activity. The most commonly reported ghost is a Spanish-era woman in traditional turno dress seen gliding through hallways, particularly near the 4th floor. Housekeepers tell of finding rooms inexplicably cold, with the scent of antique perfume lingering where no guest has stayed. Some visitors report waking to the sound of rustling skirts and soft crying outside their doors, only to find the hallway empty. Security cameras have even captured shadowy figures moving through closed-off areas at night. The hotel's basement holds particularly chilling energy. During renovations, workers claim to hear ghostly whispers and the sound of dragging chains, possibly echoes from when the area served as a dungeon during Spanish times. Some staff refuse to enter storage areas alone after dark, reporting feelings of being watched and sudden temperature drops. Even the rooftop isn't safe from hauntings. Several guests have reported seeing a headless silhouette near the edge at night. Believed to be the ghost of a World War II soldier who fell to his death during the Battle of Manila. Others hear phantom footsteps on the stairs leading to the roof when no one is there. What makes the Bayleaf especially creepy is its interactive hauntings. Unlike places where ghosts simply appear, here they seem to engage with the living, turning faucets on and off, knocking on doors, and even leaving handprints on foggy bathroom mirrors. Some guests report waking to find their luggage unpacked or their bed covers mysteriously folded down. Despite its ghostly reputation, the Bayleaf remains popular for its prime location and modern amenities. The staff have learned to live with their unseen co-workers, though they still avoid certain areas after sunset. For guests brave enough to stay, the hotel offers more than just history, it offers a chance to possibly encounter Manila's restless past firsthand. Would you dare book a room where history's ghosts might join you for the night? 5. The EDSA Shangrila Hotel, Mandalang. The EDSA Shangrila Hotel in Mandalang is known for its world-class service and luxury, but few guests realize they might be sharing their stay with unseen visitors. Behind the elegant chandeliers and plush hallways, staff whisper about ghostly encounters that have chilled both employees and visitors for years. The hotel's long history, and possibly its location near a former battlefield, has left behind spirits that refuse to leave. One of the most famous ghosts here is the Lady in White, often seen wandering the hotel's grand staircase. Guests have reported a beautiful woman in an old-fashioned white gown gliding up and down the steps before vanishing into thin air. Some believe she was a guest who died tragically in the hotel decades ago, while others think she might be a spirit from the land's violent past. Those who have seen her say she never speaks, only stares with sad, empty eyes before disappearing. Another common haunting happens in the hotel's elevators, where guests claim the doors open to empty hallways that shouldn't exist. Some have felt an unseen presence pressing against them in the elevator, as if an invisible person is standing too close. Others report hearing whispers or feeling a cold breath on their necks when they're alone inside. Staff members say these incidents happen most often late at night, when the hotel is quiet. The basement and service areas are also known for paranormal activity. Workers have reported hearing phantom footsteps, doors slamming shut on their own, and even shadowy figures darting through the corridors. Some employees refuse to work night shifts alone, saying they feel like they're being watched by something unseen. A few have even claimed to see a small child running through the halls, laughing before disappearing around corners, only for security to find no child in the building. Even the guest rooms have their own ghost stories. Some visitors wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of furniture moving or knocking on the walls. Others have seen the reflection of a stranger in their bathroom mirror, only to turn around and find no one there. A few have even reported waking up to the feeling of someone sitting on the edge of their bed, pressing down on the mattress. Despite these eerie tales, the EDSA Shangrila remains one of Manila's most prestigious hotels. Many guests stay without experiencing anything strange, while others leave convinced they've encountered the supernatural. The staff have learned to live with the hauntings, but they still warn new employees about the hotel's ghostly residents. Would you dare to book a room here? You might get more than just a 5-star experience, you might get a ghostly roommate. 6. The Clarkton Hotel, Angela City, Pampanga. Standing proudly along Don Juco Avenue in Angela City, the Clarkton Hotel is more than just a historic landmark, it's a hotspot for paranormal activity that sends chills down the spines of both guests and staff. Built in the 1950s, this elegant hotel carries the weight of decades of untold stories, some of which seem to linger in its hallways long after their owners have passed on. The most famous ghost here is the Lady in Red, a beautiful woman in a flowing crimson dress often seen gliding through the lobby and upper floors. Witnesses describe her as having an elegant but sorrowful presence, sometimes appearing near vintage mirrors before vanishing. Staff whisper that she might have been a heartbroken bride from the hotel's early years, while others believe she was a wealthy guest who met a tragic end. Some visitors report catching the faint scent of roses when she's near, only for it to disappear seconds later. Another unsettling presence is the crying boy, whose sobs echo through empty corridors late at night. Guests on the 3rd floor have reported hearing a child weeping outside their doors, but when they check, no one is there. Some believe he may be connected to the hotel's past during World War II, when the area was occupied by Japanese forces. Others think he might be the spirit of a young boy who once lived in the building when it served different purposes over the decades. The hotel's basement and old service areas are particularly haunted. Workers tell stories of flickering lights, sudden cold spots, and the sound of invisible footsteps following them. Some have even seen shadowy figures darting between pillars when no one else is around. A few brave employees claim to have heard whispers in an unknown language, possibly remnants from the hotel's wartime past. Even the guest rooms have their share of ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported waking up to the sensation of someone sitting on their bed, only to find the room empty. Others have seen the reflection of a stranger in their bathroom mirror, a face that disappears when they turn around. Some have even claimed their belongings were mysteriously moved overnight, as if unseen hands had rearranged them. Despite its haunted reputation, the Clarkton Hotel remains a popular choice for travelers seeking old-world charm. The staff have grown accustomed to their ghostly co-workers, though they still avoid certain areas after dark. For guests, staying here is more than just a trip, it's a chance to step into a place where the past never truly fades away. Would you dare to spend a night in this historic hotel? You might just leave with more than just memories, you might take home a ghost story of your own. 7. The Sulo Riviera Hotel, Quezon City. Tucked away in Quezon City, the Sulo Riviera Hotel was once a glamorous destination for high society events and politicians. Today, though its grand ballrooms stand empty and its halls echo with silence, many believe the hotel is far from deserted. Stories of ghostly encounters have turned this abandoned building into one of Metro Manila's most haunted locations. The most famous spirit here is the White Lady of the Ballroom. Security guards and urban explorers report seeing a woman in an elegant white gown dancing alone in the dark, empty ballroom. Some say she was a bride who died tragically on her wedding day, while others believe she was a socialite who took her own life after a failed romance. Witnesses claim she suddenly stops dancing, turns to look at them with hollow eyes, then vanishes into thin air. Another terrifying presence is the shadow children, who play in the hotel's crumbling hallways. Explorers hear the sound of children laughing and running, but when they turn the corner, no one is there. Some have reported seeing small handprints appearing on dusty mirrors or feeling tiny, invisible hands tugging at their clothes. Locals whisper these might be spirits of children who died during the hotel's heyday, forever trapped in their favorite playground. The basement is considered the most haunted area. During its operational days, staff refuse to go down there alone after dark. They reported hearing whispers coming from empty rooms and feeling cold spots that move like invisible people brushing past them. Some claim to have seen bloodstains appear and disappear on the walls, possibly remnants from violent incidents during the Marcos era when the hotel was frequented by politicians and military personnel. Even the hotel's swimming pool tells a ghostly tale. Though now filled with murky water and debris, visitors report seeing ripples form as if someone is swimming, along with the sound of splashing water. Some have glimpsed a pale face just beneath the surface, staring up at them before vanishing into the darkness. Urban explorers who brave the hotel at night tell of doors slamming shut on their own, lights flickering in rooms with no electricity, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. Many report their cameras malfunctioning or capturing strange orbs and shadowy figures in their photos. Though closed to the public, the Sulo Riviera Hotel continues to attract ghost hunters and thrill seekers. Its crumbling walls hold decades of secrets, and its ghostly residents seem determined to keep their stories alive. Would you dare to step inside this forgotten palace of the dead? 8. The Hyatt Regency Hotel, now the Hilton Manila, Pasay. Standing near the cultural heart of Manila, what was once the Hyatt Regency Hotel, now transformed into the Hilton Manila, carries chilling ghost stories from its glamorous past. This luxury hotel, famous for hosting celebrities and politicians, hides dark secrets within its polished walls, secrets that some say still walk the corridors at night. The most famous ghost here is the Lady in the Mirror. Guests staying in certain rooms, particularly on the higher floors, have reported seeing a beautiful woman with long hair staring back at them from the bathroom mirror. When they turn around, no one is there. Some say she was a heartbroken guest who took her own life in the 1980s, while others believe she may have been a victim of violence during the hotel's turbulent past. Housekeepers tell stories of finding these rooms inexplicably cold, with the mirrors fogged up as if someone had just breathed on them, even when no one had entered for hours. Another common haunting happens in the elevators, which sometimes stop at empty floors where the doors open to reveal dark, shadowy hallways. Guests report feeling an unseen presence pressing against them in the elevator, as if crowded by invisible passengers. Some have even heard whispers in their ears or felt cold fingers brush against their necks when riding alone late at night. Security footage has occasionally captured strange blurs or figures that disappear seconds after appearing. The hotel's grand staircase is another paranormal hotspot. Staff working night shifts have reported seeing a well-dressed man in 1970s-style clothing walking up and down the stairs, only to vanish when approached. Some believe he may have been a wealthy guest who died suddenly during the hotel's early years. Others claim to hear phantom piano music drifting from the empty lobby in the early morning hours, as if the hotel's past grandeur is replaying itself. Perhaps the most disturbing reports come from the basement and service areas, where workers tell of hearing disembodied laughter and the sound of running feet when no one else is around. Some have seen shadowy figures darting between storage rooms, while others report tools and supplies moving on their own. The air in these areas often feels unnaturally heavy, with many employees reporting sudden headaches or nausea when working there too long. Even with its modern renovations, the hotel, now Hilton Manila, can't seem to shake its haunted reputation. Guests continue to report strange occurrences, from waking up to find their belongings rearranged, to feeling an unseen weight pressing down on their beds at night. The staff have learned to live with these ghostly residents, often joking that the hotel has permanent guests who never check out. Would you dare to book a stay at this luxurious yet haunted hotel? You might just find that you're not the only one enjoying the 5-star treatment. Some spirits seem determined to keep the Hyatt's legacy alive, long after its name has changed. 9. The Linden Suites, Makati. At first glance, the Linden Suites in Makati looks like any other modern high-rise hotel, sleek, stylish, and full of life. But behind its polished glass windows and luxurious rooms, guests and staff whisper about eerie encounters that suggest not all who check in ever truly leave. The most famous ghost here is the elevator woman. Guests report riding the elevator alone late at night, only to have the doors open on an empty floor where a pale woman in a business suit steps in. She stands silently, facing forward, before suddenly vanishing before the doors close again. Some believe she may have been a stressed executive who took her own life in the hotel years ago, forever doomed to repeat her final elevator ride. Staff members confirm they've received multiple complaints about this phantom passenger, especially between midnight and 3 a.m. Another unsettling presence is felt in room 1713, where guests report waking up to find a dark figure sitting at the foot of their bed. Some claim to feel an invisible weight pressing down on them as they sleep, a phenomenon known as sleep paralysis, except many victims swear they were fully awake when it happened. Housekeeping staff report that this room often feels unnaturally cold, and some refuse to clean it alone after several maids claim to hear whispering coming from the empty bathroom. The hotel's parking basement has its own ghost story. Security guards patrolling at night report hearing the sound of a car engine revving and tires screeching, though no vehicles are ever seen. Some have glimpsed shadowy figures darting between pillars, while others have found handprints appearing on their patrol car's windows when no one was around. The most chilling report came from a guard who swears he saw a bloodied man crawling across the concrete floor before disappearing beneath a parked car. Even the hotel's swimming pool area isn't safe from paranormal activity. Several guests have reported seeing wet footprints leading from the pool to the elevators late at night when the area is closed. Lifeguards, even during daytime shifts, have reported counting more swimmers in the water than are actually present, a phenomenon known as the extra swimmer in ghost lore. What makes the Linden Suites particularly frightening is that these hauntings occur in a relatively new building, proving that ghosts don't only haunt old places. The management maintains a professional silence about these occurrences, but longtime employees will quietly admit that certain floors and rooms are more active than others. Would you dare to book a stay at this modern haunted hotel? You might find that your corporate getaway comes with some unexpected and unwelcome company. Just remember to check the elevator carefully before stepping in, especially after midnight. 10. The Lapro White House, now the Bamboo Hotel, Baguio. Perched on a quiet street in Baguio, the Lapro White House, now transformed into the Bamboo Hotel, is not just a historic landmark, it is one of the most terrifying haunted places in the Philippines. Built in the 1920s by the Lapro family, this old mansion has witnessed decades of tragedy, leaving behind ghostly residents who still roam its halls. The most famous ghost here is the Weeping Woman. Visitors and staff often hear a woman crying softly in empty rooms, especially on the second floor. Some say she was a member of the Lapro family who died of a broken heart, while others believe she was a victim of Japanese soldiers during World War II when the house was occupied. Those who have seen her describe a pale woman in a white dress, her face covered by her long hair, standing in dark corners before vanishing into thin air. Another common spirit is the angry man. Many people report feeling sudden anger or sadness when entering certain rooms, as if the emotions are not their own. Some have seen a shadowy figure of a tall man pacing the hallway, his face twisted in rage. Locals say he might be the ghost of a former owner who met a violent end, forever trapped in the house he once loved. The basement is the most haunted part of the house. During the war, it was used as a torture chamber by Japanese soldiers, and the screams of their victims are said to still echo in the darkness. Visitors who enter report feeling hands grabbing at them or hearing whispers in Japanese. Some even smell blood or smoke, though there is no source for these scents. Even outside, the garden has its own ghost story. Guests have seen a little girl in old-fashioned clothing playing near the trees. She smiles and waves, but when approached, she disappears. Some believe she is the spirit of a child who died in the house, forever playing in the place she once called home. Today, the mansion operates as the Bamboo Hotel, but the hauntings continue. Guests report doors opening and closing on their own, cold spots in certain rooms, and the feeling of being watched. Some wake up to see shadowy figures standing beside their beds, only for them to vanish when the lights turn on. The Lapro White House is more than just a hotel, it is a place where the past refuses to stay buried. Would you dare to spend a night here? You might leave with more than just memories, you might take a ghost home with you.